As you can see, it's a pretty slow start here.
I don't know. I sort of looked at this song. I downloaded it into my main client, and I immediately thought, wait, why do I recognize this song? And I realized that it was the Valve intro song, like the one that shows up anytime their logo is opened in a game.
And yeah, this is where it ramps up in difficulty. You can see already Gekido's raking here. One's already getting a bunch of 200s.
Yeah, these releases definitely not simple at all. Actually, with how large the gaps between the notes are, that's pretty hard.
Yeah, slow semi-inverse bursts are pretty hard to do. But yeah, the map is already ending. Just so you know,
really short. Any accuracy breaks.
Yeah, you can have a good feel.
They're gonna give you. Look at just the difference between the Gekido's and Juan Crystal's accuracy was a difference of 50,000 points. They weren't even a 1% apart.
Juan's ratio is actually pretty good here.
Yep, but we will be getting into
that's something
number 2.
Yeah, let's go straight up into map number 2. This is SOFT3 Apollon. It's a map by BBU2, but we picked, I guess, difficulty of this mapper called Line. I think a lot of you know him. It's a 4-key hard, and it's a jump screen focus map. It focuses on density a bit. Like this time, it's rise related, and you're gonna see that this map has a bunch of tricky sections with very tricky rhythms.
Yeah, and a lot of people will probably recognize this map just because it is part of the loved set. At least I'm pretty sure it is. The one that got loved recently.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty simple patterning overall throughout the map. The top difficulty gets a little bit weird with some mini jags, but this one stays mostly simple throughout the entirety of its lifespan.
Lots of repetitive patterns at the start here, but nothing that's too hard, you know. And here we go into some slow rolls right into a denser part of the map.
Yeah, starting to get into some broken jump stream patterns. It can be pretty detrimental to some people's accuracies if they rely too much on keeping a constant stream going.
Yeah.
This definitely gonna be one of the accuracy-focused maps, I think, for this pool.
Yeah, even though this map is one of the denser and faster maps, it's still going to be pretty accuracy-focused because of how early we still are in the stages.
But this is where those players who rely on the constant streams are going to start to pick back up their accuracy, since this does keep constant stream going. Though the patterns are
and
not,
this is a
like,
pretty long run.
Yeah, it's a really long run, but the patterns are pretty awkward from what I'm looking at. So it could be
they are pretty awkward
to keep accuracy through this section.
That's for sure.
And then some LN play here, not too big of a deal, but could cause some accuracy drops or just some drops in general if the players aren't too comfortable with LNs like that.
Now, I feel like this section could be one that messes up people like Ritsei, because he's all about straight up accuracy, and you know, I wonder if he trains stuff like LN streaming like that.
Yeah, but this next map coming up will really be where accuracy and consistency start to come in, because we have Reverence, the hard difficulty, a map by Side. It is 2 minutes and 45 seconds long, 3.13 stars with a BPM of 172, and there's really not much of a break to start. It just gets right into action with some pretty tricky-ish patterns with some grace notes every now and again, but this is going to be one of those maps that really just tests how consistent your accuracy is through some relatively simple patterns, as well as throwing you off a little bit with some surprises down the line.
Yeah, that's exactly what this map is about. It's all about having this background of one half patterning, and then throw some grace notes, some bursts here and there to try and throw you off. You see, that pattern, the starting pattern already is something pretty awkward to do, in my opinion. You see Gekiro missing there?
Maybe not quite prepared, but with some practice, I'm sure most players will be just fine at that pattern.
Yeah. Some inconsistent rhythms there, here and there. This is where one of the harder parts of the map comes up. Some LN streaming.
Yeah, some pretty intricate LN play too. Some holding down 2 LNs while doing some single notes on top of it can be a little bit hard to hit for some players. But yeah, this is going to be where that consistency breaks for some players.
And then transition more waltzy.
Yeah, with some 1/3 patterns, gotta make sure you're able to switch between the two types of the two different snaps for the streams.
Yeah. Now for this part here, we have kind of a reprise of the song, the first parts of the song. It's mostly repeating itself.
But there we saw one of those rolls flam things, grace notes if you want to call them. Yeah. Might throw some people off. It shouldn't be too big of a deal as long as you know they're coming. Ooh,
this is where it gets hard.
Those single or one-handed trills. Those aren't too bad because they're two-handed, but the one-handed trills might throw a lot of players off.
No, and then they become running man. They start getting really anchored if you pay attention.
Yeah, with some jump thrown in there, it can be hard to play, but pretty difficult to read in comparison to a lot of patterns.
Yeah, now this ending is all about accuracy. There's nothing too much too new here. Oh yeah, there's jump drill, but besides that. One's accuracy is actually pretty impressive.
Yeah, but that is the end of the third pick, and someone in chat asked where the Quill SV maps were. You want to take it away?
Let's go with map number 4 here. So you asked for it. Yoyoi Kokon by Real, mapped by Cool. This is the easiest difficulty of this map set. Challenge easy. You know, it's supposed to be a mixed map, and it has a minute and 20 drain time. Although it has a 3.34 star rating, I believe this is pretty underrated in my opinion, and you're gonna see why. You're also gonna see something pretty fun. It's that the skills the map explores, they are pretty clear cut, and that's always nice to see. Starting with a bit of Rise here for an introduction.
Yeah, but once it transitions into the meat of the map, we'll be seeing a starting section being mostly around LNs like we're seeing now. Actually, really
focusing a lot on releases. Patterns. Yeah, focusing a lot on tech patterning and release patterning.
Already
You can see
seeing
a
some
teleport
SVs
is
right
right
there.
there.
Yeah. And
And
right
then
here,
right after
we're
this
seeing
section,
some teleports into some pretty basic streams, but players not prepared for this might not do so well.
yeah, it can throw a lot of ack away from the players. And now we're going straight up for the jump stream here. It's basically some semi-dance jump streams with 1/6 burst in between them, which isn't that hard due to the lower BPM of the map.
No Gekido finding some problems there, though.
Yeah. This is pretty inconsistent rhythm, so like it can throw players off pretty hard.
Yeah, but going into the fifth map, a map that I am personally very familiar with. We've got Sosos plus Conka, Acorn. Anyone who doesn't know this, it's my map, which is why I know of it. It's not the nuts difficulty. It's a little bit difficult. But we're gonna be seeing 2 SV maps in a row. Yeah, rigged for the number 1 seed. He already knows one of the SV maps. This isn't fair.
Wait, I just read here in the chat. LDT flashbacks. What do you mean LDT?
Yeah, LDT used this map.
Yeah. What do you mean LDT is this map? I don't know of that.
He used it in round of 16 or something. I don't know.
No, I have no. I'm just kidding.
No worries. What's LDT? Anyways, so this is the SV tester. It's pretty sight readable for the most part. I'd compare it to something like maybe Fuego, just a little bit like easier in terms of SVs overall. But what you gotta watch out for are some of these LNs, because the releases are not really in some places that you'd expect them to be. Especially with some slowdowns that just really mess with your mind if you don't know they're there.
I like how you use the mini LNs a lot like that. You made them seem longer with the SVs you put.
Actually, that wasn't even meant to happen. I sort of put the mini LNs as the snap sound, or not the snap, but like a clap type thing. Anytime that would happen, maybe it is a snap. But when it goes through the SV that I put on some of the snaps, it made it look longer, and that's another point of interest to note out. Is that if you are not aware that the LNs are short, you will probably overhold it and get either bad judgments or just get a combo break on the release.
Yeah, that's very true. You know what's funny? Like on the first 2 or 3 times I played the map, I didn't know about that, and I had no idea why I was getting like 95, 96, even though I was comboing so much of it.
And like right here, these are some of those long ones that I'm talking about. They look way longer than they actually are, and if you overhold them, you're going to get bad judgments.
Yeah. And these hands right there can make players jump the gun. Oh, Kikido finding a drop. After this small break here, you have basically a repetition of the first section, right?
Yes, this is a repetition of the first section. I just mirrored the notes, so if you know the SVs for the first part, you'll know the SVs for this part.
I think this makes it easier to practice as well.
Yeah, for sure.
This ending, I'm actually a fan of this ending.
Ending's not too hard, but does have some weird snap speed up type things where if you're like Juan Cristo and don't know about them, you probably miss.
You just don't see it coming and you're like, oh, what the heck?
But yeah, pretty long chart, pretty tough SV chart as well. I don't know if this is the hardest one. It seems like it's going to be the hardest one of the map pool, but there is still one more very interesting SV pick we have to go through later on.
Later on, yeah. Right now we're going for more rice here. We're going with W3, Shannon's Theorem. It's a map by high 19, high 19. It's the medium difficulty. And you're gonna see this map is very interesting. In the mean way.
Got some tricky patterns.
Yeah, we got some tricky patterns coming up for you guys. Gekido 1, what the heck?
It's pretty rolly. In general, is what I'm getting out of the map pool notes. We're going to be seeing a lot of rolls.
Yeah.
Which for a lot, it isn't too hard to read or play for the most part, but accuracy on rolls are a real problem for some
You're
players.
gonna see this though. You're gonna see. It starts off pretty easy, you know. You're gonna be like, this is like slower than Apollon. What are you talking about? About this being hard? But you wait.
Nah, I'm prepared for anything that comes. Oh yeah, some tricky bursts coming in here, and that's a long roll right there.
And some mini jacks. Rolls changing directions. Basically a timing hell here for our players.
Ooh, these trills. That one trill was really
that one trill, yeah. And the patterns are normally pretty awkward in general as well. And this is Gekido dropping there. This is a repetition of the first section of the map now. But a bit denser with jumps there, as you can see.
Pretty tough choice already, and we're only halfway through. I'm sure this second half will give us more ideas.
The second half is gonna have some mean stuff. This is the drum solo.
Ooh, those patterns were fast.
Yeah.
The one.
And now we're back to the
mini trills on 2 and 3 were really tough.
Yeah, they were. They are. And now we have some more mini jacks here. And now we go for the ending of the map.
Oh man, that could have been. I'm pretty sure in the highest difficulty of this in high 19 step mega pack, that's a trill.
Yeah.
And that would be gross.
But yeah, that's it for this map. Oh wow, Gekido won again. Miracle.
Whoa. Crazy.
Whoa, crazy.
We're coming in to map number 7 out of 10. This is, you remember how I said there's still another SV pick to go through? This one's fun. I don't know anything about it, but it's fun.
I don't think you're gonna think it's fun after you see it.
It's pretty fun, trust me. All right, we got some Sakura Burst, Serotonin, Transmission Problems, difficulty, a map by Tante B, someone who is in this tournament.
In the first group, he was the first one to be selected.
Yeah, he was, you're right.
Yeah.
This is the next SV map, 2 minutes and 7 seconds. This is fun star rating, 1.56 stars. No biggie. I mean, it's gonna be easy, right?
It's gonna be easy.
So this one is less sight readable, from what I can tell, than Acorn, which worries me a lot. Although Acorn's not really that it's very sight readable for the most part. This one obviously just gonna introduce some harder SVs to get used to. Like a lot of these stops.
Look at one.
Juan obviously has not played this map.
But as you can see, look, you see the distance manipulation there. SV traps.
Yeah, there's a lot of SV traps, but because the patterns are so simple, this shouldn't be too hard to learn.
Yeah, the rhythm isn't really hard. As you can see, they already got the main rhythm down. Look at that. the hard part of the traps inside the traps. You see both of them missing there.
Yeah, there's a lot of like 1/4 burst traps that just if you don't know they're there, you're not going to hit them.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's.
I expect this to be somewhat similar to the SV pick from last year in group stage, which was Lust for Power, which just hits you with SVs.
Yeah.
It doesn't get let up. Obviously,
now we have a break, but this is a really slow gem.
With pretty simple patterns, so if you can at least read the slow jam and keep your beat with it, it shouldn't be too bad.
Yeah, exactly.
But if I recall correctly, this song sort of does a repeat thing at the end, so we're going to see another section pretty similar to that first part.
We will. That's true. But so the thing here is that it's going to have a slightly different hit rhythm. So you need to pay attention to how it starts. In my opinion, this section is easier. It's easier than the first one.
Oh yeah, these rhythms definitely easier to keep hold on. As long as you know where the traps are, then you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Because it's basically every full beat you have to hit a note.
Exactly.
Except for very few other circumstances.
Yeah, besides the traps, this is really full beats. It's funny because there are some parts in the map where you think it's gonna be a trap, but it's actually not a trap.
Yeah, but very interesting SV map for sure. Probably gonna get more bans than most of the maps in this pool, I'd assume, just because people don't want to learn it.
Yeah, maybe so, which is sad. So now we're going up to our 8th map of the showcase, Ghost Town. It's a map by CTEX, and I don't know if it's CTEX or CyTechX, I don't know. It's 4K hard difficulty. Yeah, 4K hard difficulty.
Same way that it's TDEC,
So yeah, this is the 4K hard difficulty, and it's an LM consistency map with 2 minutes and 57 of train time, 3.35 stars, and a BPM of 125 BPM.
From the description, it seems that this map isn't going to start off too difficult, but as we go on, it is going to get progressively harder.
Yeah. For this intro here, we have no LMs at all. It's just ambience for now.
Yeah, but important to note is that later down the line we'll be starting to get some small SVs that shouldn't be too intrusive, but could throw off your reading if you're not ready for them.
Yeah, there's only a small section in between the first drop and the main section of the map. Starting to see some milling LNs. And now we transition into the first LN based part of the map. Lots of
releases are nasty.
Yeah. Gekido Pania drop down.
I think if players are gonna try a bit, try too hard to get good accuracy on those releases, they might find themselves in a pickle because they'll end up dropping a lot more than they want to.
Yeah. And here we start seeing some patterns which require tons of coordination. Lots of dense long notes with some single notes in between them. I really like the song.
Song's pretty good.
And now we have some grace notes here as we are transitioning to the second drop of the map. And here is where the density ramps up in the LNs with some mini jacks with LNs.
LN jacks. This part definitely a step above the last few, or the last LN picks that we've seen. But still not too difficult patterning for anyone who is comfortable with this kind of stuff. So I don't really expect a lot of breaks unless a given player is like really uncomfortable with LN.
Now we're going to our last drop and the outro of the map. We start seeing a few partially inverse sections.
Yeah,
if you
like
pay attention.
just normal shields, which can throw a lot of players off for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely not the most comfortable pattern, especially if you're not good at LNs.
Here's where you need a lot of coordination. The hand biases.
Oh yeah, holding an LN down and then having to do a shield on the same hand is always really tough, especially when you're not doing it with your other hand.
Yeah.
A pretty difficult map right there in terms of LNs. Releases definitely highlighted, as well as just general consistency. But moving on to map number 9. Last free mod pick in this pool before the tiebreaker. And we got our textbook shoegazer map. Always gotta have one of these. Night Jam, Sleepless Difficulty. This is a pretty techie chart, has some LNs. And it's 1 minute and 12 seconds, so not too long. 2.89 stars in quotation marks. Because it's a shoegazer map. Yeah. Obviously, you have to add like 0.5 stars to that. BPM is only 120 though, so this is probably going to be focusing a lot on bursty type stuff.
Yeah, you're right on that.
Jack play with some mini jack play in it.
As you can already hear, the same section of the song repeats twice, so it's gonna be focused on a lot of bursts and mini jacks. As you can see, it already starts with a 1/6 burst there. Some grace notes, some bursts that don't have constant snapping. These are the hardest to time. And then you add a little bit of LNs here,
just to really mess with your reading.
Yeah.
I don't think this is going to be as much of a really LN skill tester as most of the other LN picks that we've seen. Obviously, I think this is mostly just going to be focusing around a player's technical capabilities.
Yes,
in general.
Exactly. That's the intent of this map. And now we have a repeat of the first section. And then after this, we're gonna be seeing something pretty mean. You see, all the mini jacks are on the left hand.
Oh yeah, some major hand bias right there, which for anyone who's weaker on their left hand, that's going to be very true. And no mirror in this game mode, so you can't just cheese it like you might be able to in Step Mania.
One actually doing really well on this map. That's the accuracy expected from top seeded players actually, at least to me.
That is the last free mod pick. How about
you
go ahead and introduce us to the tiebreaker?
So this tiebreaker is called Nobore Susume Takaito. It's a song made by Kiko Ohana and mapped by Eraser. This song is actually a standard map set by Kuron-kun, but Eraser decided to map a mania difficulty for this as well. It's called Eraser's Minare.
Well, actually, I believe that the set has one standard map, one catch the beat map, and then one mania map.
Oh, I see.
But it is a ranked map. So a lot of people are going to be familiar with this. Currently topping the leaderboards is our number 4 seed.
Yeah,
God. I
watch out for him.
Dude, don't go to tiebreaker with Lothus. He'll crush you.
Yeah. Yeah, the map starts pretty slow, but with very release-focused LNs here. You can see the varying distance, and now we have some polyrhythms. A roll. Now we already have a few tricky, tacky patterns here with mini jacks. Some sub SVs that you need to watch out for.
Yeah, those SVs
not to drop your really accuracy.
Tricky. And these rolls are like, they're just rolls, so they're technically jump trillable for the most part, but they're not something you're gonna want to jump trill. Because they're slow enough that jump shooting them will get you bad judgments, but they're fast enough that rolling them is really complicated.
That's very true. We start seeing some jump checks here. Short sections of jump checks, but still.
Another slowdown SV going into this chorus, so that one can definitely cause a lot of bad judgments.
Yeah.
But what we'll start to notice as this map goes on is that it'll start introducing mini jacks into a lot of these patterns more frequently. And doing that with the types of patterns and LNs that are in this map just makes it super complicated and really difficult to hit properly.
Doing mini jacks while you're doing LN work is one of the hardest things to do in this game. Another stop is V there. Some
little break from the LNs now.
Yeah.
Although they're always there.
Oh. There you go. The mini jacks are starting to show their faces. We start seeing more quads too.
Oh, the 3-note jacks that are ended with a quad, those are so much harder than they look, at least for me.
Yeah, they are.
I am so bad at that pattern.
We start seeing a lot of mini jacks now. Section focused on mini jacks here.
Tiebreaker's a bit long note focused, but definitely does its best to test as much as it can. Like through this section, we got some accuracy and mini jack play with the quads and all.
Yeah, you can see it starts introducing some light quad streaming here for players to do. And some bursts and mini jacks. This map is in a nutshell, this map is filled with patterns that are traps for the player's accuracy.
They're also, like, if players try too hard to accuracy this, well, we've been seeing a bit of this, but a lot of these patterns, if you try to go for accuracy on them, will just lead to really awkward hand positions and also movements, which can just, like, not only trip up with your playing, but can mess you up in general.
Yeah. And if you, it also is, yeah, it's very draining. Exactly. We start seeing some galloping patterns here, but this is basically a break from all the madness. No, the song freaks out for a bit there. And we go again for another slow jump here with LNs, just like the intro. This one is slightly longer though. And right after this, we're going into the last section of the map. And this last section is unforgiving.
Just combines everything that we've already seen in the map and just puts it to the next level.
Yeah. Gets really dense, as you can see. And you're gonna see now, there's a speed up SV here, right now. So you need to keep a lot of rhythm in that if you don't want to mess up your jump drills and get a lot of 200s. And finishing up with a lot of LNs.
Yeah, finishing with LNs. Great song for that tiebreaker. Gonna hopefully be the end of some really hype matches this weekend.
Hopefully.
But yeah, that is the last map of the group stage map pool showcase. I hope you all enjoyed the map pools supplied by the guy in this room, Giller Medziad, as well as Gekido and Shoegazer, I believe, are the other two map selectors.
Yeah, exactly.
So make sure to thank them for their hard work on this pool. But also
Yeah,
with that, that is the end of the streams for this weekend. We will be picking back up next weekend for the group stage matches, and those will last 2 weekends, just like the playoffs did. So
yeah. So
stay tuned for that.
you should pay attention to the scheduling and see if you're placed in, like, see the weekends that you're placed at, and not, and make sure to not confuse them, because that could lead to some problems.
Yeah.
And if you have some problems with one of the weekends that the group stages are going to happen, reschedules are always open. So you can go talk to Juan, and he's gonna die to reschedule you.
But with that, stay tuned for not only the matches that will be starting next weekend, but also soon enough, within the next couple of days, I believe the schedules for group stage will be out. Give Juan some time though, because there's a lot of them. So we'll try to get those out to you guys as quickly as possible. But with that, do you have anything else to say?
Nah, I don't. I just wish good luck to everyone, and I hope you like the apples.
Yes, indeed. Good luck to all of the players left in the tournament, and we will see you all next weekend.